just me. And so taking your sturdy chair and placing it at the at the back of your mat, the front of your mat, it doesn't matter. Placing it in the place that allows you to access the rest of your place. Good morning, Sarah. And so grabbing a sturdy chair for those of you just logging on, having it at the back of the mat, front of the mat doesn't really matter. And find a seat so that you're on the edge of your seat, because life is that exciting. You're on the edge of your seat, and let your bum, your hips just be on the seat, but the rest of your legs are coming right out of the hips. And you're establishing your feet on the mat. The ankles are underneath of the knees. And the hands can rest on the thighs. And what happens here in this seat as you sit up, it's a different way than we oftentimes sit in our chair. Just allow your spine to be nice and long. Let the tailbone sink down into the chair or the seat. And allow the shoulders to stack over the hips, opening yourself up a different way than you might typically sit in your chair as you're working each day. Allow the ears to stack over the shoulders so the chin tucks slightly downward. And this again, usually we find ourselves like this, and so you're opening yourself up. You're engaging these muscles in the abdomen and these deep stabilizing or stabilizer muscles as well. Allowing the spine to be long. Let the jaw relax. Notice your weight as you press into the bottom of each foot. And see if you can press evenly across the bottom of each foot. And from here, notice your breath. Observing the inhale and the exhale. Allowing the breath to begin to deepen. Draw the fresh air all the way down into the bottoms of the lungs and just allow it to happen. Allow the breath to move. And as you exhale, as you sit up nice and tall, the exhale can also be more full, more fulfilling. Something that happens when we sit in a cross-legged position at the beginning of practice is we'll still kind of round forward. There's tension in the hips. There's a lot of different things going on. And this is a great way to find a practice of just aligning the spine, allowing the breath to be full. And as you continue your breathing, as you're inhaling and exhaling slowly through the nose, the breath becomes deeper. And our breath reaches in 6 directions. Bring the hands to the low ribs. Allow the palms to kind of rest on the sides of the body and the fingers drape over the ribs. And as you inhale, you can feel that expansion on the sides of the body. As you exhale, the drawing in. Noticing that expansion from side to side and back in. And then bring the hands just right in front of the ribs, kind of right on the lower part of the ribs, the hands could stack. And as you inhale, notice the expansion in the front of the body. And if you're able, you could place the other hand on the back of the body. It just depends where your arms are today. But to get the idea of this expansion from the front and the back of the lungs, so you have this expansion open from side to side and closing, front to back and closing. And now take a hand on the top right underneath of the collarbones and one at the lower abdomen. And as you inhale, feel that expansion from the top of the lungs and the bottom of the lungs. As you exhale, that bringing together. And so just being aware that your breath is the 6-part symphony. Let the hands come back down to rest on the legs. Continuing to breathe nice and fully, and throughout your practice, considering that 6 directions and allowing the tissues to expand and all of the little compartments to be utilized fully within the lungs. Of course, our 5-element theory brings us to metal. We've been in metal for a while, autumn. And there's a relationship between the elements besides from one season to the next, continuing to breathe nice and even. Autumn metal is the cooling phase, while the wood phase is warming. So it's this dynamic between yin and yang, wood being springtime, being upward, planning, organization, and metal being cooling, being the breaking down of the of things so that they can be recycled. And so there's a relationship between those 2 elements. Wood offers stability and metal offers release of rigidity. Let the chin come down to the chest and keep the shoulders stacked over the hips. Continuing to breathe, engage the pelvic floor as you find that 6 direction breathing. And bring the chin back up. Push into the right leg. Let the left knee come into the chest. See if you can maintain an upward posture as you hold the knee in and sort of move the hip around a little bit using the arm. And the other leg wants to open up sometimes. It does whatever it wants to do. And so see if you can find that stability, that structure, so that the hip is, the knee is coming right out of the hip, and then crossing the leg over, this figure 4 stretch where the ankle is over top of the opposite leg and the foot is flexed. Go ahead and flex the left foot. This could be quite enough sensation through the hip. You're still at this edge of your seat. You're still sitting up nice and tall. And if it feels good, if you want to, you can start to hinge forward and sort of get a little bit more sensation through the hip. You could even bring the chin towards the chest, maybe round the spine a little bit if that feels good. Still pressing nice and evenly through the right foot. Back up to center. Bring the leg out straight, the left leg out straight in front. Maybe you hold on to the chair and you just wring out the ankle. So this is a lot on the top of the leg. You're still pressing into the right leg and you're really nice and strong and stable through the center. And then just bending the knee, bring the foot behind you. And the goal here is just to get a stretch on the top of the foot and sort of the front of the shin, kind of that area, and the ankle especially, because we do a lot of standing too. So this is just an option, and you have to play with this one and see how it feels good. Maybe you move it down, your leg down a little bit, maybe you bring it up a little bit and you're just on the toes, but just stretching the front of the ankle. Press into the right leg and then allow the left leg to return. Find that evenness on each leg. Find that engagement through the spine, the standing of the shoulders atop the hips and the ears on top of the shoulders. Right leg comes up, give it a hug, sort of move it around in its hip socket, however it feels Good, but still press into the left leg and finding that balance between structure and mobility, which is this idea of the relationship between metal and wood. Cross the ankle over the right or left leg, and you can hold on to the shin, you can flex the foot, and just notice how you feel. Can you still push equally into each hip as you maybe start to lean forward if it feels good, but only you know the sensation that's going on in your body. Only you know which hip is a little tighter, and how can you find that sensation and still breathe fully? Where is that place where those two meet comfortably, or in a place that seems beneficial rather? Continuing with your nice even inhale and exhale. Come back up. And let the hands, maybe they hold on to the chair if that feels good. Extend the leg and bring out the ankle. Let it go this way and that. Of course, you're strong through the thigh. And then bring that foot underneath, kind of. It's off to the side, and toes are down. The top of the foot's on the mat. So this is like a hero's pose. It's like the foot in hero's pose. You're getting this big stretch on the top of the ankle. And so it gives you more choice as far as how much pressure you want to put on the ankle, as opposed to a pose like hero's pose. So that can be a nice to have options. And then let the foot come back, and here you are, and we're continuing to be here for just a few more moments. Find that evenness in each foot pressing down. See if you can draw up through the pelvic floor. See if you can continue to find that nice big breath, expanding the ribs, expanding from front and back, and expanding from top and bottom. 6 direction breath. Lateral stretch. Let the right arm relax down, the left arm comes up, palm can face out, and then maybe it turns inward. As you start to stretch to the right, keep both hips evenly pressing into the chair, and each foot presses into the chair as you reach up, and the gaze could be low or maybe it's high if that feels good. And you're breathing still. And the arm pulls you back up to a tall spine. Let the arm come down and just switch sides. I don't have the ability to, I have a wall blocking my way, but I'm just reaching the hand up. Let the palm turn inwards, and then find that stretch on the other side. And again, play with the hips. Immediately you want to shift to the left. See if you can even things out through the lower part of the body. Press more through each foot. And then bring that arm up, fingers up towards the sky, and release the hand down. And one more, just a twist. And twisting towards the left. The right hand could come to the left thigh. The left hand could come behind. Maybe if you have a backing on your chair, you hold on to that a little, and only you know what your chair is like. It's kind of like your body. We all have different chairs today. We all have different bodies. And even if we have the same chair, we have a different body. So it's always an experience, just a little twist. Come through to the other side, still pushing equally through each foot. Allow yourself to find that twist, holding on to the right leg with the left hand, still really strong through the lower body, still breathing nice and evenly. Back to center, and the moment you've all been waiting for, let the arms come up overhead, palms face each other. If this doesn't work, you could bring the hands to heart center. Push into the feet, start to lean forward, and then push yourself up into chair pose. So your bum is low, and see if you can tuck the tailbone a little bit. The ears are between the biceps, the palms face each other. And then stand all the way up, reach the fingers up, and maybe you come onto the ball of each foot, and then you might topple and come back down. Let the hands come all the way down, and bring out the wrists and start to rock from the ball of the foot to the heel. And it's so freeing to stand. And so it's fun to think about this dynamic between structure and fluidity, between the planning and then the ability to change things when they need to change, and kind of the freedom within that. Come to the center of your mat, allow yourself to find a Qigong stance. So let the feet be shoulder width distance. The spine is nice and tall. The hips stack over the heels. And so you push a little bit more into the heel of each foot. Find a slight bend in the knee. Let the shoulders stack over the hips. And feel nice and tall here. Allow the crown of the head to draw upward so the chin comes in towards the chest. And just notice for a moment how you feel. And then I want you to think about that 6-direction breath. Bring the hands to the sides of the body and feel the inhale, feel the ribs expand and come back towards each other. Allow your breath to be slow. Let the sensation underneath of your hands help to guide you to a little slower movement. And then both hands can come right in front and feel the expansion in front of the abdomen or the torso. And drawing back inward. A hand underneath of the collarbones and one at the lower abdomen as you inhale. And feel that drawing down and up. 6 directions. Let the hands come down, bringing down the heavens, palms face out. Turn the palms up, reach the arms up, and you can reach them up to comfort. They don't have to extend terribly high. The palms come down. And again, bending the knees a little bit, maybe as you come down, and as you reach up, and you straightening the legs. The arms don't have to extend too far. Palms face down. And we're going to do this 2 more times. And as you do, maybe find an inhale as you come upward and an exhale coming down. Once more, maybe inhale as you come up and exhale coming down. The hands rest, and then give yourself a little shake. Go ahead and sort of move the ankles, move the wrists, and we're going to find some arm swings just because it feels good on the spine, especially after sitting. So the feet are hip or shoulder width distance, and just gently swing the arms from side to side. This is a great exercise thinking about your day, what comes in your day, and maybe finding some time to do some of those that sitting up nice and tall and opening up the chest, and then maybe stand up and do a few arm swings, and it feels nice on the spine. And back through center, continuing to allow your breath to be nice and even. Let the hands come up to face the chest, the shoulders relax. And many of our gongs, gong is work, we're kind of moving along the meridians that are associated with the lung and the large intestine. Turn the palms and push outward. Turn the palms in and come in. And you might find that exhale as you come out. Inhale, drawing inward. And this movement is a movement specifically for the lung meridian, which runs from the chest down to the thumb, and the large intestine, which moves from the first finger up to the chest and then up to the nose. So autumn is the metal element, which is associated with releasing. It's associated, obviously, you think of the fall and the trees losing their leaves and drawing inward. It's a cooling phase. And it's irrational. It's the dream state as well. So there's refinement, and there's also this dream kind of quality. But if there's too much of that, we can become a little too, we can overthink, and we might become a little sad as well. And so we need to balance that. And that's what this whole sequence is about, and what our practice is about, is kind of balancing things out. Bring the hands back down, press down. Let the hands come to the hips, the palms face upward, and taking the right hand, and I'm not mirroring you, push away from the right side of the body and draw back in as you push the left away. And so you're allowing yourself to turn slightly as you move from side to side, and you're also inhaling to the right and exhaling as you push away from the right. If you're able to find that, nice and slow. And when in doubt, slow it down. And this is a wood gong. So wood being the warming phase, it's growth and structure. And it can also incorporate anger, and a little anger is good because it motivates us to do things. And it also can help to counteract overactive metal when things are getting a little too fluid, because wood is very rational. It's very structured. It's all about planning. And so it helps to balance metal in that way. And pushing out from the liver on the right side, drawing in. And breathing, allowing yourself to have softness through the joints. Finding that softness within that structure. Come back in. It's always hard for me to know when to stop. Press the hands down and give yourself a little bit of a shake with the ankles and the wrists. And stand in front of your chair. And there's your chair. And we're finding a fold. So depending upon how your seat is, maybe you have your hands on the sides of the chair, or maybe on top of the chair. And just allow yourself to gauge where you can be so that the arms are nice and stretched out and the legs are pretty much straight. It's like you're an L shape sort of over your mat. Bend the knees as much as you need to for comfort. The backs of the legs might be kind of stiff. And we're stretching through the armpits. Let your ears be between your biceps. And this is kind of like downward facing dog. This is like a less intense version of downward facing dog. So play with your hands on your seat. And if your seat is, got a little bit of a dip in it, you just experience that. Or you bring the hands to the sides and you sort of see how you can get a nice stretch through the armpits, how you can feel nice and strong through the feet. The feet are the hip width distance or slightly greater. And this is like downward facing dog with a little bit more support to it. Find the breath here. Continuing to breathe. We're going to come up onto the toes. So you're pulling forward. It's kind of like a high push up on some level, pulling forward over your chair and seeing if you can bring your ankle or your shoulders over the wrists. Maybe you can't. Maybe you can just kind of pull up. The goal here is to get a nice stretch through the toes and sort of straighten the arms and engage the abdomen, and then lower back down, lower the heels back down and press back into that folded kind of posture, that extension of the spine. And so moving a little bit, you decide what works for you with your chair. And again, coming up onto the toes, pulling forward, seeing if you can have a nice, strong stance with the shoulders over the wrists and coming back down again. And maybe you get a little bit more of a stretch and you draw the chest down slightly more and you have the knees bent a little bit more. And one more time, pulling up, coming forward. And again, all chairs are different, and come back and just laugh about that, because this is where metal helps balance wood, because we can't be too rigid. That's not beneficial. Push into the left foot, right foot steps forward. We're going to come into warrior one. So the back toes turn out slightly towards the left, and the knee is bent over top of the ankle. And so maybe your feet are closer together. Maybe you want them closer together or further apart. You know where we're going. Press into the back pinky edge of the left foot, and then start to bring yourself up. The hands come to the hips, and adjust yourself. Decide where you want your legs to be, and let the tailbone sink down. Draw up through the pelvic floor and see if you can find stability, but still that breath, that 6-direction breath, and decide where you want your arms to be. They could come to the center of the chest, stay at the hips. Maybe they extend overhead if you want a little bit more. Regardless, open the shoulders, let the shoulders relax, and let the collarbones open. And breathe. And here you're in this posture where your legs are these large muscles of the legs are getting a nice experience. And so allow them to breathe, and allow your breath to help them breathe. Straighten the front leg. Let the hands come down to the hips. And so pyramid pose, find a slight bend in the front knee and come forward. Let the hands come to the chair and allow yourself to find this stretch. And this could feel a lot more stable than at times when we do it even with blocks. Just allow yourself to get a stretch on the back of the front leg, push more through the back leg as well, and allow the sides of the body to extend. And so depending upon your chair, maybe your hands come down, you come to forearms and allow the head to dip down. Maybe you adjust the legs however you need to, but just allow yourself to breathe and continue to push evenly through each foot as you allow that structure to assist with your movements. And then bring the hands back down to the chair. Step back into that forward fold or downward facing dog with the chair. Let the palms go maybe onto the seat of the chair, and maybe you're feeling a little bit more stretched out, and maybe it feels good. And come up onto the toes and pull forward. And then draw back down with the heels. And now the left foot steps forward, same sequence, warrior one on this side. And so now the toes can be underneath of the chair so you can't see them. There's no reason why they can't be. Allow the back foot to be off to a slight angle. The pinky edge pushes down, and adjust yourself so that the knee is over top of the ankle. Maybe your feet want to be further apart or closer together. Hands come to the hips. You lift yourself up, and then you allow yourself to shift again, however you need to, because that's the idea of finding that flexibility within structure. To not be too terribly rigid, allow the tailbone to sink down. Let the shoulders stack over the hips. Relax the jaw, and maybe the hands come to heart center. Perhaps the arms lift up overhead. If that feels good, let them do it. Let the shoulders relax. Palms face each other. It's like there's lights shining out of them, kind of bouncing from palm to palm. And you're breathing in that 6 directions. Straighten the front leg, let the hands come back down. And pyramid, and again, kind of looking at the feet, deciding if they want to move closer together, further apart. Have that slight bend in the front knee still, and start to come forward and let your chair be your helpful friend. Allow yourself to come forward over this front leg, and maybe the forearms come down to the chair. Maybe you're up here, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're feeling a good stretch. You're also feeling supported, and only you know how deep it's good to go. Because you're really the person who experiences your body. And then come back up onto tall arms if you're not already. Step the left foot back, find that fold, that downward facing dog type of fold. And come up on the toes, on the ball of each foot, pull forward into our high push-up-esque type of thing, and back down into that fold, that extension, I guess, of the spine. And one more time, come up on the toes and pull forward. And then return. And now bend the knees a lot and bring the hands down to the ground. Kind of find a wider legged fold, like a rag doll. Let the arms relax. Let the head hang down and sort of move the feet away from each other. The toes could point out to the sides. The knees being bent offers that stability, and let yourself just sort of shift from side to side. Let it feel good. Let your breath move into the low back, and even as you're in this fold, you're able to find that breath that's nice and deep into the body. Press into the heels and start to roll to standing. Keep the chin tucked and the shoulders forward until you come to the top of your mat. Shoulders come up to the ears and roll down the spine, and then the head floats to the top. And again, it's a wonderful place to be, up at the top of your mountain. Find mountain pose, and you can turn however you need to. Let the feet be hip width distance. Allow the legs to be engaged. The arms come down to the sides, and the palms could face away from you or inwards towards the body. Either way, the shoulders relax in your mountain pose, and you imagine this beautiful light shining out through the hands, through the palm of each hand, and it can go right in front of you. It could go right into your body, and just imagine that. Use your imagination because you were born with it. And that's a mental kind of thing. Our dream time, our imagination, think of it as the right brain, the creative kind of side, the yin side. Let the arms come up overhead, reach the palms up, and then let them come together. Thumb knuckles down to the center of the chest. Feel the thumb knuckles press against the sternum. We're going to find some standing sun salutations, moving slow as your breath likes to go. Empty your lungs. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold through center. Halfway lifted spine on the inhale. Let the hands come to the shins or the thighs and fold. Bend the knees as much as they want to be bent. Inhale, rise and reach up with the arms. Exhale, thumb knuckles to the center of the chest. And again, inhale brings you up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. See if you can extend the spine. Bring the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise and reach up with the arms. Exhale, thumb knuckles to the center of the chest. One more time. Inhale, reaches you up. Exhale, fold through center. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise and reach up with the arms. Extend upward. Palms come together. Thumb knuckles to the center of the chest. Bring the hands down. Step the feet shoulder width distance. Lateral stretch. And let the left hand come down to the thigh. The right arm extends up. The palm faces in. And then find that stretch and see if you can establish the evenness across each foot. See if you can find that stretch and still make these little adjustments. Notice within your body what's happening. Are you leaning forward? Can you come out of it a little bit more to not lean forward? Are you able to just breathe into that side of the body? Is there stickiness there? Bring the arm back up and let the palm come down. Other side, arm comes up, fingers reach up, turn the palm to face inward, and find the lateral stretch on the other side. Bring the fingers back up, and then bring the arm back down. And so we're going to find a few balancing postures using the chair. Decide if you'd rather use, and we're going to do warrior 3 and we're going to do tree. And so decide if you like the seat of your chair or if you want to turn it around, that's fine too. Either way, and I'm just turning mine around because I feel like for myself that might work better. And you can play with this. We're going to do each one a couple times so you can establish this. The goal here is to strengthen the standing leg and to also be able to focus more on that and more on the lifting and the strengthening of the lifted leg and this engagement of these internal organs and the area around them than it is to balance. I mean, we're balancing, but we're using the structure of the chair to help us. So maybe the hands come to the chair, they come to the seat of the chair. Bring the feet together and press into the left leg and bring the right toes behind you. So as you press into the left foot, push against the entire bottom of the foot and let the toes come up a little bit. And you should have a little stability so you feel okay doing that. And then maybe you start to lift the back foot up, flex the foot as though you're pressing against the wall behind you. And as you lean forward, find a little bit more bend in the front knee. And engage through the whole back of the leg, engage all the way up the center of the body, and just allow this to be about the legs and about this area from the kind of from the midsection down. Continuing to breathe and continuing to lift the leg. And if it gets a little tiresome, see if you can lift it, even if it's a little tiresome, as long as it doesn't hurt. Because that's how you become stronger. And then bring that leg down. Let the foot come down and kind of give yourself a little shake of the other leg. And then bring the feet back together. And here you can tell a little bit more how you want your chair maybe. Press into the right foot, the whole right foot. Find a slight bend in the right knee so that the knee isn't hyperextending. If you have a tendency to do that, the back toes touch the ground, the leg is straight. Feel strong through the whole center of the body, and then start to lift up. Let the front knee bend a little bit more if it needs to, and let the toes come off of the ground. And the back leg is nice and strong, and see if you can even the hips out so that they're in line still, that the front of the body is in line with the mat. And if the leg, it's too much to lift the leg, you can lower it. There's nothing wrong with that. You can lift up a little bit more and come into more of an airplane type of posture. But see if you can do it for another moment. Allow yourself to breathe. Let the shoulders relax. Feel strong through the leg and through the center of the body. And then lower that leg down. And then give the whole body a little shake. Let the ankles move and shift a little from side to side. And the same type of stretch on the front of the ankle as we did seated. So press into one foot and the other foot, the toes come down. And from here you can adjust yourself so that you're trying to find the stretch on the front of the foot. If you immediately get a cramp in your foot, obviously don't do this. It's just another way to get a stretch through the ankle, an opposite type of movement than we typically do. And then switching feet, press into the opposite foot and let the other toes come behind. And maybe you're able to shift your body a little forward or back. It's really your exploring session to get a nice stretch through the front of the ankle and the front of the foot, top of the foot, and then come back to standing. We're going to find that warrior 3 type of movement with the legs again. So decide how you want your chair to be, and maybe your chair is this way, and press into the left foot, let the right toes come behind you, and then start to lift the leg up, flex the toes towards the face. See if you can find evenness through the pelvis. Maybe you're able to take one hand and kind of bring it to the belly or to the hip and sort of even yourself out a little bit as you continue to press through the standing leg, lifting the toes off of the ground and letting them be gentle, not gripped into the mat. Let them almost float on the mat. You're still breathing. And then bring the lifted leg down and give yourself that little shake. Switching sides. Press into the other leg. Feel strong, like it's a tree trunk, like there's roots coming down from it, and bring yourself the other foot back. And again, starting at the bottom, allowing the toes to touch, and then lifting from there. Let the foot flex, and you decide how far up you want the leg to go. And if it's pretty far and you feel pretty good about that, then maybe it's a good idea to see if you're able to let the pelvis be parallel to the mat. If you're, what can you do to get there? Letting yourself breathe. Nice and even. And even if the leg needs to come down, that's okay, but see if it doesn't hurt you. If it's just straining the, or working through the kind of unusual movement, see what you can do, and then bring that leg back down and give yourself a little shake. Let yourself move a little from side to side. And then take your chair and move it off and away. And we'll come back to it for relaxation if legs on the chair is a nice thing for you. Let yourself sway a little bit from side to side. And then find a Qigong stance with the feet shoulder width distance. Let your spine be long and find that breath again. Notice where your breath is. And so we thought about that relationship. We're thinking about the relationship between stability, between planning and structure, and then also that fluidity, that ability to let go of what isn't working and change. And so working within a couple more movements, let both toes face the right, and sort of find that little bit of an ability to shift from the ball of one foot and back to the heel of the other. And we're not going very, very far. Let the palms come in front. And just as you come forward and back, let the hands sort of move gently. And maybe you find a bend through the fingers. You're not extending the arms very much at all. You're like bamboo, softly swaying. The idea of flexibility within that structure. Let the shoulders relax, and maybe the feet don't even come off of the ground. Maybe you're able to just shift. See how that feels. Just very gently pushing. The idea of kind of getting out of your own way and just allowing. Like when you're working very hard on something and thinking very hard, and then you step away from your project, and all of a sudden, once your mind relaxes, the solution comes to you. And then bring the hands back down, turn the toes, moving to the other side. And so find that kind of a balance across each leg, and then bring the hands back up and just gently moving the hands. Allow the breath to continue to find a fullness. And as you come forward and back, maybe the feet don't even leave the ground, or maybe just the heel does, or just the toe. There's softness in the joints. The ability to move, the ability to change. Nice and slow. And then bring the hands down, come back to center. Let the palms come to face each other and imagine that you're holding like a little ball in front of your heart and thinking about that 6-direction breath. As you inhale, bring the palms apart. As you exhale, allow them to come kind of float back towards each other, the fingers rounded. Inhale, the fingers sort of pull away from each other. Exhale as the palms push towards each other. Find a few of these movements and allow yourself to breathe nice and even. Let your breath kind of, let it dictate the movement of the hands. Maybe they expand a lot further than mine are. Maybe they don't expand as far as mine do. And the idea is being able to take something, to take a movement, and I'll allow it to meet you wherever you are. Time. And then bring the hands back and push them downward. Give yourself a little shake. And now we're going to come down to the ground. We're going to find a downward facing dog. If that's just not for you, there's always puppy pose as well. And so I want you to just, we're going to make our way into a baby cobra just to get a nice stretch through the front of the body, that kind of belly back bend. So just so you know where we're going. So find your way to the top of your mat. Your chair is out of the way. Find a mountain pose. Coming through a sun salutation movement, let the thumbs come to the center of the chest and be here for a moment. Just take a big inhale and let it go. Lift the arms up overhead, fold. Halfway lifted spine. Plant the hands, step the feet back, find the knees, kind of come down to a high push-up with the knees underneath of you, so take your time to get there. The toes could be curled under, or the tops of the feet could be down, and just allow yourself to be in that posture. And then maybe you immediately come down to forearms, or actually you can all just kind of come down to forearms and then stretch yourself out, lower all the way down. Let the palms stack and let the forehead come to the backs of the hands. And just allow yourself to be here with the elbows bent and the shoulders, try to relax them a little bit, relaxing the head on the backs of the hands. And at this moment, finding the breath and noticing the abdomen pressing into the ground. Bend the knees. Windshield wipe the legs, the feet from side to side, and see if that feels nice on the tops of the thighs, if it gives you a little release in the low back. Tops of the feet come back down. Hands come underneath of the shoulders. Baby cobra, the elbows come in towards the ribs. Open up through the collarbones and allow the shoulders to pull downward. Allow the gaze to be low for our purposes, and let the crown of the head sort of be this extension of the spine as you press into the feet. Noticing the breath, not holding the breath, and on an exhale, lowering the forehead down to the mat. And the elbows could come down on the inhale. Baby cobra, lifting up a little bit. And so moving with your breath, lowering on the exhale and lifting on the inhale. Just finding a little bit of movement. Noticing the front of the body stretching on the inhale, and on the exhale, that lowering motion, and seeing how it feels through the tops of the feet, pressing down through the hips and also through the low back. Child's pose. Bring the toes under, push the hips Up and back, let the knees be wide, the big toes come together to touch, and allow the arms to be long. The palms press into the mat. The fingers are nice and engaged as well. Let the forehead come to the mat if you can. Or if you have a block or a blanket, you could place it underneath of the forehead also. And if the knees being wide doesn't work for you, they could come together. Or if being on the knees like that doesn't work for you at all, you could come, having the hips back, you could come into puppy pose and let the hips be up a little bit, because that's where we're going next. But press into each finger knuckle in your child's pose. Allow the spine to be long, and then lift the head off of the mat, extend the arms, and find puppy pose. And you can stay in puppy pose, or if it feels good and you're feeling strong through the arms, strong through the hands, curl the toes under and find downward facing dog. Pedal out the heels. And for some people, this is a movement that they crave, and for others, it's just something they don't care for. And so you don't have to do it. But if you're doing it, or if you're in puppy pose with the knees down and the arms extended, if you're still in child's pose, allow yourself to breathe nice and fully. And then if you're in downward facing dog, lower the knees. In puppy pose or any other posture, start to walk the hands up towards the knees and sit down. Bring the legs around staff pose. Let the heels press down into the mat. The feet are hip width distance, and they're flexed. The feet are flexed towards your face. Press the hands down into the mat. Allow the collarbones to open and the shoulders relax. And see if you can find that stacking of the ears over the shoulders and the shoulders over the hips. There's a slight bend in the knee. And now see if you can find that 6 direction breath. See if you notice it, if you can feel the expansion of the ribs. If you can feel the expansion front and back. And if you can feel the expansion above and below. Bend the knees, bring the feet to the floor. Make your way onto your back. Draw the knees into the chest and give yourself a nice hug. Rock from side to side, maybe. Let the shoulders really relax down. Allow the chin to come towards the chest. And take a hand on each knee and make circles in opposite directions with the legs, and you're massaging your internal organs, and you're stimulating the production of the synovial fluid in the hip joint, and you're doing just such good things for yourself. And the opposite direction. See if you can slow it down. That wood element in springtime is also associated with moving forward. We want to go forward. What's next? We've got a lot of wood element in our culture, and so the metal element says, no, you've got to, it cuts the wood. It helps to slow you down. Final twist, and you can find whichever variation you like best, but I'm gonna go for right leg long. Let the left knee come in, the thigh kind of gives the internal organs a little massage, and then draw the left knee over to the right side of the body. Keep the shoulders on the ground. Maybe find cactus arms or arms to a T. You could gaze at the left fingertips or the left elbow. But keep the shoulders anchored down. Allow them to relax on the ground as you continue to breathe and create a little bit more space. Back to center. Exchange legs nice and slowly. Let the left leg go long and the right knee comes into the chest, and the right thigh, and give it a little hug. massaging the liver, one of the organs associated with the wood element. We'll let the knee come across the left side of the body, the leg comes across, and maybe you find that arm at a T, the right arm at a T or at a cactus arm. The gaze could go over the fingertips. And as you find this twist going, however it feels right for your body, let's see if you can relax a little bit. And back through center. And here is the portion where we're coming into final relaxation. And so if you have a chair that's conducive to it, and you want to find your legs on the chair for your relaxation, or just allowing the legs to bend at the knee and just kind of have them relax over the chair, or to have a supported relaxation posture with the feet on opposite edges of the mat, the knees falling together, or traditional shavasana with the legs nice and long and the feet sort of falling away from each other. Decide what setup works best for you. And when you get there, let the hands come to rest on the low ribs with the fingers facing each other and the palms on the sides of the body. And once you get there, allow the jaw to relax and the chin to sort of tuck slightly downwards towards the chest. And notice the breath. Notice the expansion on the sides of the body. With the inhale and with the exhale, feel that coming together, that release. And with the fingertips, notice the expansion upward of the abdomen and the release downward on the exhale. Bring one hand to the lower abdomen and the other to the area right below the collarbones. And now notice as you inhale that directional, the up and the down, the moving up into the tops of the lungs and down into the bottom, into the diaphragm, pressing down into the abdomen, expanding the contents of the abdomen. With that stretching open and the release. Let the arms relax at the sides of the body and allow the breath to relax. Let the jaw relax and let the arms and legs feel heavy. Allowing the work that you've been doing to balance that more yin component, the metal, the autumn, the cooling phase, the dream time, with the upward structure, that yang of wood energy, the springtime, the ability to plan, rational thought, balancing the two. Make small movements with your fingers and toes. Move the ankles and the wrists and find a full body stretch. The arms come overhead, the toes point away from you. Bend the knees and roll over to your side. slowly press yourself up to a seated posture. Allow the shoulders to stack over the hips and the ears to stack over the shoulders. Let the hands come down and watch out for chairs if they're in your way. Flip the palms, reach the arms overhead, palms come together, thumb knuckles to the forehead, allowing your thoughts to be calm, confident, and compassionate. Draw a line down to your heart, to the seat of kindness. Being kind to yourself and letting that kindness be part of each of your interactions today. Namaste. Thank you all so much for coming to practice this morning. And it's just so wonderful to have you all here.